Hey everyone and welcome to another Let's Max Warframe, where it's time to carry on checking out the weapons from 21.7 with the second of the new dojo weapons, the Arca Scisco. Like the Arca Plasma I took a look at on Friday, the Scisco is in the Corpus lab in the dojo and requires to be researched before it can be built. Costs for either the research or for the building really are not too bad at all, and it's something that can be done fairly easily if you've got the resources already. Once you do have the blueprint and once you built the weapon, you get a pistol with 60 damage per shot. Most of that is in puncture with a healthy dab of slash. What's different about this though is there is no impact at all, making it one of the few IPS weapons that only have 2 of the 3 physical damage types. 18% crit chance and 1.6 times multiplier are enough to be able to make a crit build work, both because of how strong the secondary crit builds are, as well as the special feature that the weapon has. For each hit landed, it will proc a buff called Target Analysis, and that's going to stack up to 5 times. What the proc does is that it will increase both critical chance and status chance by 4% for each stack of Target Analysis. Now these are additive and added after the mods have taken effect. So for example, a 20% crit buff from Target Analysis when you've got 5 stacks, if you have a 50% crit chance after mods, is going to give you 70% crit chance after the mods and the buff. It's really simple, doesn't require any complicated calculation, and thankfully that makes modding way easier. It is also worth noting that each stack of this buff lasts for 2 seconds, and not landing a hit within those 2 seconds will cause you to lose stacks. If you hit 5 stacks, any further hits will simply refresh the buff and remain at 5 stacks. This also means that the base 26% status chance on the Scisco also means that status build works too, allowing you to build for both crit and status, which is a very potent combination. Normally I would now talk about the downsides of a weapon, but to be quite honest, it doesn't really have any. The magazine size of 36 means you don't have to reload constantly. 2.2 second reload isn't too bad when you actually do have to. Although I guess this is literally the only vaguely bad thing I can find to say about it. The reload is longer than the decay rate on the stack of Target Analysis. But since multi-shot even counts towards building the stacks back up, it's only going to be 1, maybe 2 shots until you're back at max stacks again. I'm really reaching to even find anything bad here. The weapon itself is hugely accurate even when unscoped, yet when you do zoom in you get either a 2 times or a 4 times zoom, so you can be even more accurate with it. And unlike sniper rifles, there's no damage multiplier tied to those zoom levels, so you don't feel like you're constantly missing out on stats because the tileset really prohibits you from doing so, something which I do feel the snipers and the sniper buffs do. In terms of taking advantage of all this, the build I went for really focuses around the crit and status aspect of the weapon, adding 2 former to it, 2 additional Vs on top of the 2 Vs it already has, Hornet Strike, Barrel Diffuser and Lethal Torrent, Prime Pistol Gambit and Prime Target Cracker for crit chance and damage, 2 dual stats and then 1 mod slot which you can do anything with. I messed about with a bunch of mods, Sharpened Bullets for crit damage, Hydraulic Crosshairs for crit chance, another dual stat, or if you wanted to, you could always put another former on, stick in Primed Heated Charge. I personally went with Hydraulic Crosshairs because I often am aiming down the sights with this thing, putting well aimed shot after shot into the enemy, and with the sight it's easy to nail those headshots and keep it procced, allowing you to keep critting constantly, and even get the occasional orange crit, really pushing the damage output of this weapon. Especially with the status procs, you're going to be reliably proccing with this weapon's good status chance. So what do I think of the Arca Scisco? Well, it's really hard to say anything bad about this weapon, to be honest. It looks amazing, just like all the other Corpus weapons do recently. This, the Plasma, the Lens, they all look so good. It's hard not to love it on looks alone. Not only that, but the noise it makes while firing, plus the effects it gives off from the trail of the shot, they're super cool as well. And all of this is even before we get down to the performance of the weapon. It's pretty impressive if a weapon's already got me convinced just on looks alone, right? Well, even the performance of this weapon is perfect too. I know in the footage in the background it doesn't look too impressive, but that's an augmented armor Sortie Part 3 with only 1 corrosive projection. This means that the units it's taking down are super beefy even before the additional armor is added onto them. As you can see in that footage, it's actually dealing with everything pretty damn effectively. However, if you check the footage now, you can see me shredding level 150s in less than a magazine. So it really does perform incredibly. So what exactly does this mean? It looks amazing, sounds amazing, it's cool looking when it fires, and it has the performance to back up all those fantastic things it's got going for it. Have we got something that's close to being a perfect sidearm? I would say probably yeah we do. I wasn't entirely convinced by it while I was leveling, I'll be honest with you. I even thought that there was a bonus attached to the zoom, and maybe my dislike for that mechanic meant I didn't automatically like the Scisco. However, once I worked out that actually it wasn't how it worked, and the zoom is optional, I started to really like it again. There really isn't any downside to it whatsoever. I think if you build this, you'll get some real use and enjoyment out of it. It is definitely top tier, without a shadow of a doubt. So I hope you enjoyed my look at the new Arca Scisco. There's a couple more weapons to check out, as well as an episode of Boss Battle coming soon. But for now, many thanks for watching, and I shall see you in the next video.